What would you say if I told you the xTool F2 can do a really great job of engraving photos onto canine crystals? This is something that is a really unique thing that you can do, and normally you'd expect to only be able to do this with the xTool F2 Ultra UV. And although we're not engraving inside of the crystal, we are doing a darn good job engraving on top of it. So if you want to learn that, if you want that extra string to your xTool F2 bow, then you are in the right place, because I'm going to take you through the full process, the full setup. We're going to import images, we're going to adjust images, we're going to go through my special material settings I've really worked hard to get, and then finally at the end of the video I'm going to share a really useful tip that will ensure a lot of success going forward. If that sounds like something you would like to learn, stick around, we'll get straight to it. In order to do this, we're going to need a few things. One of them is tempera paint, as you can see there. This is one I've got off of Amazon. I will include some links in the description, but any black tempera paint should work. You need a paintbrush or some way of applying that paint onto the surface of our object, and something to store it in, obviously. Then finally, in this case today, we are using these crystals I got from AliExpress, but you can get them from Amazon. I think xTool also sells similar ones. You'll see they are canine crystal, but they also have a light inside, which is really nice for highlighting these photos. Pour your paint into your container. I've already done that. Preferably you want a smaller paintbrush than this, but this is all I had. I've only got a little tiny bit in there. What I will say is make sure your surface is clean that you're painting onto. And then what we're trying to achieve is just an even coat across of it. And what I tend to do is try and lightly paint on top, just so you'll see if I hold it up to the camera, it's fairly even, there aren't really any ripples, and we're going to let that dry. The thicker the coat, the harder it is going to be to laser engrave. So you want it to be enough that it covers the whole thing, but not light enough that you can see through to the crystal. So let's let it dry. So I've let it dry. I just wanted to show you what I meant. So you can see we can't really see through to the actual crystal itself. There are a few blank patches. So if you can find a better way of covering this, I recommend doing it, but this will be good enough for what we need right now. Now, one important thing I wanted to say is when we laser onto this, it's going to penetrate against the paint. That is the purpose of the paint. That will have a chemical reaction, and that will create our nice white image. But also, you've got to remember, this is a see-through object. It's transparent. So when that laser does penetrate that paint, it's going to go through onto whatever surface it is. So do not do it directly onto your base plate. I am going to be using my self-centering jig to elevate this. The beauty of this is I can close these down, rotate it around, and then just position that. It is elevated off the ground, and also if we need to make any micro adjustments, we can. If you do think you'd find this useful, there is a link in the description. The first thing we need to do is focus our laser. So those two dots aren't joined together. That means our laser isn't an optimized height from the surface. So we're going to use this knob right here. We're going to rotate it, and we are going to rotate it until those two dots join together like so. I'll zoom in so you can get a good idea. So that means we are focused and ready to go. So here we are in xTool Studio. We are going to hit the new project button in the top right. That will connect us to our machine. You should hear a beep in a second. Once we do, what it will do is take an automatic snapshot of our item. First thing we want to do is set up our workspace for our material. So we're using glass here, or canine glass. If you click on the material library in the top right, you can bring up a list of different materials. You can see your most recently used one. I like using clear soda lime glass as this, and there is a very good reason. So click apply, and that has now told xTool Studio that we are working on that material. So any automatic or AI adjustments it does will take into consideration that material type. So what we'll do next is we are going to import an image, but I want to quickly show you the image I want to use is of my son. Gorgeous little boy, as you can see, but it has a background. Now the reason I'm showing you this is because you need to understand the process so you can get the best results. When you've got a picture with a background, what it's going to try and do is engrave the background and the picture together. That will totally wash out the image of the person, and you don't want it. So we need to remove that background, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So I do use something called Canva, and there are other options. Just search for free background remover. The reason I like Canva, and I do pay for it, I'm not affiliated, is it does a really good job. We're going to click on photo editor, and we're going to upload our photo. And once we've clicked on it, it will bring up this window right here, okay? Now that it's done that, we're going to select BG remover. What that will do is it will analyze the image and it will remove the background. As you can see right here, you can also make image adjustments in here. If you click on that adjust button, you can click auto adjust and it will do it. But if you want to manually adjust, just go to your setting and adjust the slider left or right and you're good to go. So once you've done that, you will see a little download button there. Click that download button as I'm about to do. It will then download that picture and we are ready to import it. Now we're back in xTool Studio, we can delete that one and I can click import. And this is the one I did earlier and you'll see it looks amazing. And then what we're going to do is resize it by dragging these little grips here. The middle one will drag it up and down centrally on its position, roughly position it where you want it. And now what we want to do is we want to create a mask so that this fits the shape of our object. To do that, we want to select our image, right click on it, and you will see down here there is the create mask button. When you select that, you'll get a load of custom shapes on the left which you can select. Select a circle, then you can see we can drag that circle up and down wherever we want it. I would like it to be a little bit bigger so it gets his collar from his shirt on there. That looks good to me. I'm going to click done and you'll see it will crop out everything else. That's perfect because we can now position it where we need it. So what I'm going to do, holding control and scrolling the middle mouse button in, I'm going to zoom in and I'm just going to roughly size it so that it takes up most of that crystal. Now, when you're engraving onto glass, you need to invert your image and you need to adjust it. If we engrave this as it is, it would look like a negative image, which is back to front. Light would look dark, dark would look light. So I'm going to show you how we do that now. You'll remember we changed the material to clear soda lime glass. So now you're going to see exactly why we did that. If you select your image, the top toolbar here, select adjust, and then you will see you can adjust sharpness, saturation, all of those different settings. You can manually invert it, manually make it black and white. However, with xTool Studio, it can do this for us. And because it knows the material, it will actually optimize the image and do a great job. If you select auto adjust, you will see right now, it's going to invert it, make it black and white and adjust the contrast, brightness and sharpness so that it's deemed optimized for the material. This is why it's so important to select your material first. So now that we have our design, what we want to do is position it roughly where we want it, resize it. Then we want to frame it on our crystal so that we know it's in the right position. So the way we do that, in the bottom right, you'll see the framing box. Click on the three little dots next to it and you'll get three options: outline, rectangle and polygon. Hover over them, they'll say what they do, but in this case we want outline because we want the outline of our complex shape so we can get it optimized and positioned in the right position. So click on outline, then click that framing button, and now we'll go over and we'll take a look. You can see it's positioned pretty well. This is where with this jig we can actually rotate it and get it however you want it and make sure it's straight at this point. We can also use our keyboard arrows to manually adjust the position of the item. What I'm going to do is, just to show you how it works, I am going to move the design with the keyboard as we're speaking now, and you'll see it updates the framing box accordingly. This is a really good way to make minor adjustments using the arrows to make sure you've got your design exactly where you want it. I'm happy with that. Let's move on. Now we know that we are correctly framed and we are happy with the positioning. What we're going to do next is apply our material settings. So I've done a lot of testing on this. I mean, if I hold these up, you'll see crystals and crystals and crystals because I've been trying to get you guys the best material settings properly. I think I've done it. So click on your image, go over to your settings over here, and what we're going to be going with in this case, I have saved a load. You can see that. If you want to learn how to save your own material settings, check out the tutorials on my channel. But in this case, we're using my setting, which I've set up already. We're using the laser type is blue laser, dot duration 375, power 80%, DPI is 325. We're using Jarvis bitmap mode and we are doing one pass. Using those settings should get you good results. However, the thickness of the paint can affect how it looks. If you put a really thick coat of paint on and you do one pass and it doesn't look great, just do a second pass. That's all you have to think about. If it doesn't look right, do a second pass and see how it comes out. We are ready to process, so we are going to do that. Just remember to stay to the end of the video because there's something to share with you that's going to probably really surprise you. We are going to select that process button there And what it will do is it will give us an estimated time. You're going to see these things are super quick, 23 seconds, and it will be done. So if you're going to sell these or make these for gifts, you can do a lot of them. So hit that start button. Let's go and see how this looks. So one thing before we start, this is going to produce some fumes because we're burning the paint off. So make sure you have extraction. I've got one going out of a vent, but you have the AP2 air purifier right here, which you can also use, or the air purifier that you can get with the xTool F2. So there you go, we've done it. One thing I'll say before you remove your engraving, just take a look at it. If it looks like there's a lot of paint left, then do a second pass. This is looking okay though. And what we need to do now is take our painted keyring, put it in a warm bowl of water. Make sure you screw the top on because there is a battery in there. I like to just get my finger in. You will get a bit messy here. I'm sure there are better ways of doing it, but I'm not afraid of getting my hands dirty. Rub the paint off, the warm water will help, and give it a good wipe. So look at those results. It's come out absolutely amazing. The xTool F2 is such a beast with these things. I'm so impressed. And with these ones as well, you can actually light them up if you want. And when you light them up, obviously it adds a bit of an element to it, which is really, really cool. So there you have it. You've learned something new. Now for the secret thing that I promised you. So I know I've been showing you key rings and these ones do light up, but did you know this also works on canine crystals? And as you can see, it comes out absolutely amazing. The same technique, the same settings. If you get a nice light base that goes underneath it and shines through, you've got a great product there you can sell or give as a gift. And what I will say is, yes, it's not inner engraving, as you can see, it's on the surface, but it's still pretty good. And if you're only working with the xTool F2, it adds another string to your bow. So thank you for watching. If you're looking to get an xTool F2 or any of the other machines that are behind me, then please consider using the affiliate link in my description below to support the channel and no extra cost to you. And also thank you so much to our L3D supporters. I'll see you again soon. Take it easy.